Have you ever felt like an outsider in your own life, like you never quite fit in with the crowd? Have you wondered why your path seems harder, your battles more intense, your trials unrelenting? What I am about to reveal may shock you, but it is something you need to hear. If you are watching this right now, know this: it is not a coincidence. You were led here. God Himself is calling you. The question is, are you truly one of the chosen? Many are called, but only a few are chosen. Matthew 22 verse 14. This is a truth that echoes through time. But what does it mean to be chosen? Does it mean an easy life? Absolutely not. In fact, it means the opposite. The chosen are tested, refined, and set apart. The chosen endure things that others could never bear. They carry a weight that others cannot understand. Does this sound familiar? Think back on your life. Have you faced rejection, isolation, betrayals that seemed unbearable? Have you ever wondered why you feel things more deeply than others, why you see through lies when others remain blind? Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with an unshakable feeling that something is about to change? If so, you need to pay attention, because these are not coincidences. God has been sending you signs all along. Have you noticed them? In Isaiah 41 verse 9, the Lord declares, "I have chosen you and have not rejected you." But the question is, have you accepted that calling? Have you embraced your identity, or are you still doubting? What has been your greatest struggle? What moments in your life made you feel like the world was against you? Share your story in the comments below. There are others just like you, people waking up to their chosenness, stepping into their divine purpose. This message is not for everyone. Not all will understand, and not all will stay to hear the truth. But if your soul is stirring right now, if something inside you is resonating with these words, then this message is for you. Stay with me, because what comes next will confirm everything you have felt but could never explain. Are you ready to know the truth? Are you prepared to step into your divine calling? If your answer is yes, type "I am chosen" in the comments and let's go deeper. Your life is about to change. Have you ever felt like your life is different from everyone else's? Like you're walking a road that no one else seems to understand? Maybe you've questioned why your struggles seem greater, your battles more intense, and your burdens heavier than those around you. Why do you experience deeper pain, yet also have moments of divine revelation that others can't comprehend? If this resonates with you, pay attention, because this is not just life happening to you, this is the journey of the chosen. Throughout history, God has set apart those He has called for a higher purpose. But that calling does not come without a price. Have you noticed how the chosen ones are often misunderstood, ridiculed, even rejected by their own families and communities? Look at the lives of those who came before us. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, Genesis 37 verses 18 to 28, Moses was rejected by his own people, Exodus 2 verse 14, and even Jesus Himself was mocked and crucified by those He came to save, Luke 23 verses 35 to 37. Why does this happen? Because when you are chosen, you are set apart. Your spirit cannot conform to the patterns of this world, Romans 12 verse 2. You see things differently. You feel things deeply. You are awake while others remain blind. And that makes you a threat. A threat to the enemy, a challenge to those who fear change, and a disruption to those who want to stay in the comfort of the ordinary. Have you ever been called too intense, too sensitive, or too different? These are not weaknesses. These are signs of your chosenness. But here's the truth that many don't realize: the hardships you have endured were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to refine you. Every betrayal, every rejection, every season of loneliness has been preparing you. God has been stripping away everything that does not serve your purpose, so that when your time comes, you will rise unstoppable. Isaiah 48 verse 10 says, "See, I have refined you, though not as silver, I have tested you in the furnace of affliction." This journey was never meant to be easy, but it is leading you somewhere far greater than you can imagine. Take a moment and reflect. what has been your greatest test? What moment in your life made you question everything? How did you survive it? Share your story in the comments below, because your testimony is powerful. It may be the very thing that strengthens another chosen one who is on the verge of giving up. Many will not understand you. Some will try to discourage you. But remember, you were not called to fit in, you were called to lead. You are a warrior in the kingdom of God, and every challenge you have faced has been a stepping stone toward your destiny. Are you ready to embrace your journey? If you are, type "I am chosen" in the comments and declare your faith. Because this is not the end, it is only the beginning of something extraordinary. How do you know if you are truly chosen? This is a question that many wrestle with, but the answer has been woven into your life all along. Being chosen by God is not about titles or appearances, it is a transformation, a divine assignment, and a calling that cannot be ignored. If you have ever felt like you don't quite belong, if your life has been filled with challenges that seem greater than those around you, and if you carry a deep sense of purpose even when you can't define it, then you may already have the confirmation you've been seeking. Jeremiah 1 verse 5 declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, before you were born, I set you apart." That deep stirring inside of you, that feeling that you were meant for something greater, is not your imagination, it is divine truth. Look at your life. Has it felt like a constant battle? Have you faced rejection, betrayals, and struggles that seemed too heavy for one person to bear? These hardships are not meant to break you, they are shaping you. Every chosen one goes through a refining process. Just as Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers before rising to power, Genesis 50 verse 20, and David was hunted before becoming king, 1 Samuel 19 verse 2, your trials are preparing you for something greater. The weight of your struggles is a sign of the power that you carry. Have you noticed how, despite everything, you always find the strength to rise again? That is not by chance, it is divine confirmation. Many chosen ones feel a strong disconnection from the world. The things that excite others, money, status, and power, often feel meaningless to you. You are not interested in following trends or fitting into society's expectations because you were never meant to conform. Romans 12 verse 2 tells us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This separation is not a curse, it is proof that you were called for something higher. Have you ever felt like you see the world differently than those around you? That you understand things on a deeper level? That sense of being different is a spiritual marker of your divine calling. Another undeniable sign of being chosen is the intensity of spiritual attacks. The enemy does not waste time on those who pose no threat. If you are constantly under attack, whether through doubts, distractions, or opposition, it is because you carry something powerful within you. Every time you try to step into your purpose, resistance appears. Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world." But here's the truth, chosen ones always rise. No matter how many times you've been knocked down, you are still standing. That alone is proof that God's hand is upon your life. God speaks to his chosen ones in ways that others may not understand. Have you ever received dreams, visions, or a deep intuition that something was about to happen? Do you sense things before they unfold? This is not coincidence, it is divine communication. Throughout the Bible, God used dreams and visions to guide his people. Joseph, Genesis 37 verse 5, Daniel 2 verse 19, and even the wise men who were warned in a dream to avoid Herod, Matthew 2 verse 12. If you have ever had a moment where God revealed something to you in a dream, a whisper in your spirit, or a sudden understanding of something before it happened, know that this is a powerful confirmation of your calling. If these signs resonate with you, know that you are not here by accident. You have been called, set apart, and chosen for something greater. Your journey may not be easy, but it is necessary. You are being prepared for a destiny beyond your imagination. Every challenge you have faced, every battle you have fought, has been a step toward your divine purpose. Now is the time to acknowledge who you truly are. Declare in the comments, "I am chosen," and share your experiences, because your testimony may be the confirmation someone else needs. Let us come together as a community of warriors, rising into our divine destiny. Why is your path so difficult? Why does it feel like every time you take one step forward, something tries to pull you 2 steps back? Have you ever asked yourself, "Why me? Why is my life filled with so many battles?" If these questions have ever crossed your mind, it's because you are being refined. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. God does not call the weak for great missions, He strengthens those He has called. Every challenge you face, every hardship you endure, is a part of your divine transformation. "See, I have refined you, though not as silver, I have tested you in the furnace of affliction." Isaiah 48 verse 10. The fire you are walking through is not meant to consume you, it is meant to purify you. Have you noticed that your struggles seem heavier than others? That no matter what you do, you can't seem to take the easy path. That's because the chosen ones are not meant for mediocrity. Ordinary people are left undisturbed, but those carrying divine assignments are put through the fire to make them unshakable. Look at Joseph, betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, Genesis 39 verses 19 to 20. Yet, every setback was a setup for his divine elevation. What if your trials are not meant to destroy you but to position you? What if every time you've been knocked down, it was God's way of reshaping you for something greater? God refines His chosen ones through rejection. Have you been misunderstood, isolated, or even ridiculed? Jesus Himself was despised and rejected by the very people He came to save, Isaiah 53 verse 3. If they rejected Him, they will reject you too. But here's the truth, rejection is redirection. God removes people, places, and things that no longer align with your destiny. Have you lost friends? Has your own family distanced themselves from you? It's painful, but it's part of the process. Those who cannot see your worth are not meant to walk with you in the next season. "For I know the plans I have for you," declares the Lord, "plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29 verse 11. Sometimes, separation is necessary for elevation. One of the hardest trials chosen ones face is silence, when it feels like God has gone quiet. Have you ever prayed and heard nothing? Have you cried out for direction, only to be met with silence? This is not abandonment, it is a test of faith. The teacher is always silent during the test. In those moments, God is seeing if you will trust Him even when you cannot trace Him. Will you continue walking in faith when you don't see the full picture? Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love Him. James 1 verse 12. Do not let the silence fool you, God is still working behind the scenes. The pressure, the trials, the isolation, it all has a purpose. Gold is refined in fire. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. Warriors are not trained on peaceful battlefields. You are not going through this for nothing. Your pain is birthing something powerful. Every hardship is adding to your testimony. Every battle is strengthening your faith. Every delay is setting you up for something greater. You are not losing, you are being positioned for victory. Can you feel this truth in your spirit? Have you ever walked through a trial that, in the moment, felt unbearable, but looking back, you now see how it shaped you? Share your experience in the comments. Let's build a community where we strengthen one another. Type, "I am being refined," if you know that your trials are not in vain. Your story is not over, your greatest breakthrough is still ahead. Keep pressing forward. Have you ever felt like you are carrying a weight that no one else can see? A burden so heavy that even when you try to explain it, people look at you with confusion. The truth is, being chosen is not just about receiving favor, it comes with responsibility, with trials, and with a weight that only the strongest can bear. Have you ever wondered why your journey has been so difficult, why your soul feels older than your years, or why people often come to you for guidance, even when you feel drained? This is the burden of the chosen one. God does not choose the weak for great assignments. He does not place heavy callings on those who will break under pressure. If your life has been filled with hardships, it is because you are being prepared for something greater. To whom much is given, much is required. Luke 12 verse 48. You are not like everyone else. You have been given wisdom beyond your years, discernment that allows you to see through deception, and a heart that feels the pain of others deeply. But with these gifts comes a cost. The weight of spiritual responsibility is real. You are not just fighting battles for yourself, you are breaking generational curses, standing in the gap for your family, and shifting the spiritual atmosphere everywhere you go. Do you feel like people constantly misunderstand you? That no matter how much you pour into others, they take from you but rarely give back. The chosen ones are often called to serve, to heal, to uplift, but the world does not always recognize their value. Even Jesus, the ultimate chosen one, was rejected by his own people, John 1 verse 11. If you feel like an outcast, if you feel unseen and unheard, know that you are in good company. Every prophet, every warrior of God, every world changer has walked this lonely road before you. One of the heaviest burdens chosen ones carry is the responsibility to stay strong when they feel weak. Have you ever been in a situation where people expect you to be the strong one, the one who always has the answers, the one who always keeps the faith, even when you feel like breaking? The weight of being chosen means that sometimes, you have to encourage others while battling your own doubts. You have to lift others while feeling like you're sinking. But let me remind you, God sees you. He knows the weight you are carrying. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11 verse 28. You do not have to carry this burden alone. And let's talk about spiritual attacks. Have you ever felt like the enemy is targeting you in ways that others don't experience? Like the battles you face are on another level? That's because they are. The devil does not attack the weak, he attacks those who are a threat to his kingdom. The greater the calling, the greater the opposition. But here's the truth, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54 verse 17. Every attack, every setback, every betrayal is proof that you are carrying something valuable. The enemy would not be fighting you this hard if you weren't dangerous to his plans. The burden of being chosen is real. It is heavy. But it is also sacred. You were not called to blend in, you were called to stand out. You were not chosen for an easy life, you were chosen for a purpose greater than yourself. And here's the question, will you embrace this calling? Will you carry this burden with faith, knowing that God has equipped you for everything He has placed in your hands? Or will you allow the weight of it to crush you? Chosen one, if this message resonates with your spirit, I want you to declare it in the comments. Type, I am chosen, I will carry this burden with faith. Share your struggles. Let's build a community where the chosen ones uplift one another, because even though this journey is hard, you are never truly alone. God is walking with you, and so is this family of chosen ones. You were built for this. Have you ever felt like you were meant for something greater? Like your life has a deeper meaning that even you don't fully understand? If you've ever wondered why you think differently, feel things more deeply, or why your presence shifts the atmosphere around you, it's because you are not like everyone else, you are chosen. And with that chosenness comes a divine responsibility. You are not just here to exist, to go through the motions of life, you are here to lead, to heal, to inspire, and to walk in divine authority. But what exactly is the role of the chosen one? First, you are a light bearer. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5 verse 14. This means that wherever you go, darkness cannot remain. Your very presence disrupts negative energies, shifts spiritual atmospheres, and brings clarity where there is confusion. Have you ever noticed how people are drawn to you, even when you don't seek attention? Or how some people react negatively to your presence without you saying a word. That's because your light exposes what is hidden. Your role is not just to shine, it is to illuminate the truth, to help others see what they have been blind to. And sometimes, this means that you will face resistance, because not everyone is ready for the light you carry. Second, you are a warrior in the spirit. Being chosen does not mean living a life of ease, it means being trained for battle. Have you ever wondered why your life has been filled with trials, hardships, and spiritual attacks? Because God is refining you for war. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Ephesians 6 verse 12. You were not called to be passive, you were called to fight, for your family, for your destiny, for the generations that will come after you. The prayers you pray are not just for yourself, they are breaking chains, destroying curses, and setting others free. Third, you are a messenger of truth. Chosen ones are called to speak truth, even when it is uncomfortable. Have you ever noticed how people seek you out for advice, for wisdom, for answers? Or how you see things others seem blind to? This is because God has given you discernment, a spiritual ability to see beyond the surface, to detect deception, to understand what is really happening in the spirit realm. The Spirit of truth will guide you into all truth. John 16 verse 13. Your role is not to conform to the world's lies but to stand firm in divine truth. And yes, this means that you may be rejected, criticized, or even mocked. But remember, every prophet, every chosen leader in history faced the same. Your role is not to be liked, it is to be obedient. Fourth, you are a bridge between heaven and earth. You have been given divine gifts, unique talents, and a spiritual connection that allows you to bring heaven's wisdom into earthly situations. Have you noticed that you often have insights others don't? That you receive messages, dreams, or revelations that seem almost supernatural? This is because God is speaking through you. Your role is to take what He reveals to you and use it to uplift, heal, and guide others. Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33 verse 3. But here's the question, are you embracing your role? Are you stepping into your divine calling, or are you running from it? Are you letting the fear of rejection, doubt, or self-worth keep you from fulfilling the very purpose you were created for? The enemy wants to keep you small, to keep you questioning your power, to make you believe that your role isn't significant. But let me tell you this, if God has chosen you, nothing and no one can take away what He has placed inside you. If this message resonates with you, I want you to declare it in the comments, I am chosen, and I embrace my purpose. Share your experience, how have you seen signs of your calling in your life? Let's build a community of chosen ones who uplift each other, because this path was never meant to be walked alone. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a message meant to awaken your spirit. This is your time. Step into it.